Good morning and welcome to the China Virus Survivors page. Now, I thought I would drop by this morning because of what I read in the news this morning about vaccinating infants as young as 6 months old. Now, this is where I draw the line because some of the excuses that they are using for this, and let me say this, everybody, they've been telling us for the better part of a year that children were not susceptible to the China virus. Think about that. They've shut down the schools. Teachers have refused to go back to work. Teachers unions have refused and rejected going back to work. And why not? Many of them are getting paid. But let me say this. If they're wanting to vaccinate children in order to protect adults and teachers and so on, let them get the vaccine and not worry with the children because they are not susceptible to this virus. Their immune systems can handle it. It's rare that an infant or a child succumbs to this disease, to this virus. Yet they have us all acting like maniacs and morons. When I see a baby or a young child out in public wearing a mask, it's ludicrous. It is ludicrous. And as you can see, we have the mask, latest mask update up here and to the right of the screen, talking about what activities you can do, when to wear a mask, when not to wear a mask, so on and so on, if you've been vaccinated, if you have not been vaccinated, and so on and so on and so on. Now, they have told us this vaccine is worthwhile taking, that it's going to do the job. Yet we may have to take it again and again and again. Let me say this. I do believe in science, but I do not believe in science when it has been politicized. And this is what has happened. Now, Moderna is the company that has decided they need to test this vaccine on infants as young as 6 months old. And then again, they list I'll post the link to the article so you can read it for yourself, where they are giving the reasons for this. And I can tell you, it's more about protecting adults and not the children. That's the reason I'm saying, this is the reason I'm saying, let them get the vaccine. And once again, I say, the science has been telling us for the better part of a year that the children are going to be okay. Young people are going to be okay. So we do need to concentrate on the groups that are not going to be okay. That's what we're saying. It's maddening, the things we see going on and the lives that have been ruined trying to follow these guidelines. The states that are still in shutdown, who are just now beginning to contemplate coming out of the shutdown, since Fauci got up there and said, hey, well, we need to lighten up here. We need to lighten up. Should have done that months ago like Texas and Florida did. And a few other states that are doing well. But we can't let this continue. We can't let them violate our constitutional rights. We can't let this happen. And so we'll come up with a plan here to fight back against this, and especially the infants, everybody. I want you to pass this on, please. Like and share this. We cannot let them be vaccinating infants, especially when we don't know the ramifications of it. And who's going to volunteer their 6-month-old baby to go take this vaccine? Just who is going to do that? Because in that article that I'm going to post here shortly, it's going to talk about the doctor that is out there trying to recruit children and infants to take an experimental vaccine. You would have to be out of your mind to participate. No, nobody does this to their baby unless they're just like I said, unless they're out of their damn minds. So we need to push back against this. We really do. And with a vengeance. With a vengeance is what I'm saying, everybody. We'll come up with a plan on this. Maybe a protest, maybe something else, I don't know. Or just maybe it's just getting the word out, and that's what this does. You know, the media is out there helping push all these crazy schemes and ideas. And I promise you, I wouldn't have a thing to do with anything that Bill Gates or Zuckerberg's been involved in. That's the truth of it. I wouldn't have anything to do with the organization WHO. I wouldn't have anything to do with China, who released this stuff on us. And I do believe it was on purpose and vengeful. Just my opinion. Now, we may get thrown off of YouTube for this. We may get thrown off of Facebook for this. But we have a right to an opinion. And yes, this video that we're doing right now is being recorded so we can load it up to Rumble. We will not be shut down. We will not be silenced. As long as I've got a breath in my body, we will be fighting crap like this. And we're talking about this from a constitutional perspective. We have a right to make our own choice, not to be forced into anything, not to be forced into it. We have a right not to participate. We have a right to participate without being harassed either way. And you've got that right, Jack Harding. It's we the people. Let's not ever forget that. But you know, there was a survey done recently, and it compared the Democrats that had taken the vaccine versus the GOP. And I think the Democrats were somewhere around 60 or 70% that have taken the vaccine. And those that are conservatives, maybe constitutionalists, they were around 40%. Now, they wanted to make the conservatives look bad, but that's not what it is. What it is the Democrats scare easily. And they're quick to fall in line. So Democrats were scared into it. I know, because I've got Democrat relatives that hasn't been out the house since March of 2020. Think about that. Think about that. They have not been out of the house. They're scared to death. And I promise you, our motorcycle club, and you understand who we are, we've been anywhere and everywhere. That's the truth of it. Mask, no mask, whatever. And yeah, I got the China virus. But you know what? It wasn't at any of those events. My wife and I can't tell you where we got it at. We can't tell you. And yes, during that period of time, we wore the mask quite a bit. And still got it. The masks are ineffective, especially the way people wear them. They don't wear them properly. They don't clean them. The list runs on and on and on. But notice everybody, what they're doing now is they're going out around the world and looking for new China virus cases. And like we talked about on our podcast last night, in particular, they're talking about India. And of course, if you know anything about Bangladesh, you knew that was a disaster waiting to happen. Last night I said, well, you know, you ever watch Slumdog Millionaire? Because India is loaded with millions of people in slums. Now, I doubt they have great health care. I doubt that they even have access to vaccines. So, yeah, they're going to have an astounding number of cases. And they may have an astounding number of deaths. I don't know. Because we know that this China virus is 98%, 99% survivable. This is what we're saying, everybody. And yet they don't report the survivability. They don't support. I thought I turned that down, everybody. So, there's certain things they don't support. All they want to do is tell you the cases, the number of cases. And I can tell you, like I've told you guys before, every time I go see my dad in assisted living, I was having to go and get another test again and again and again, just adding to the count. Now you multiply that numerous times across Texas, across the country, and it all adds up. So we're not sure what's what. And this is the reason we're talking about it being politicized, because the way they're doing the reporting and because of the way they're trying to sell the vaccine. In other words, we've got a lot of people out there right now that don't trust it. They don't trust it. And let me tell you, I don't know why you would trust your baby to them. That's the truth of it. But I wanted to come on this morning and talk about this and let everybody know what's being contemplated here. And let everybody know why in the world would this be happening. If these vaccines are so great that adults have to fear children, is just ludicrous. Because I promise you, I would never fear a child unless he had a gun, but I digress. Didn't know what he was doing. But, I would never fear a child over this. Not over this. And we don't need to be going there. And that's what I have to say for today here on the China Virus Survivors Update. Everybody give us a hand, help spread this stuff around. Know that we love you, and have a great day. This is Butch Popeye Moss, Texas Biker Radio, Sons of Liberty Riders MC. Thank you for tuning in.